Which one are we should we mostly talk to here? Hey.
Hello.
Yay. It's working. We're going live from Sarah's computer. Usually we go live from a phone.
The video quality might not be the best.
I think it's still fine.
It's still fun.
But yeah.
Hello.
Hi everybody. Yeah, so it's noon here. We're in Pacific time zone. We're in BC. So I'm just gonna hit go. I'll go on this one too. And welcome to our first live in a while, actually, and our first live of 2020. So so happy New Year, first of all, to everyone. And thanks for being patient about us not doing lives for a while. We've been busy at work over the holidays, not just with holiday stuff, but we've also been creating a lot for ESC. In particular, we have been working on a course. We designed and launched our very first course. Super exciting. Hopefully you guys have, well, maybe you've heard about it. We've been talking about it in some of our other videos, but it is called Vagina Warrior, and it went live on January 1st, and it is up on our website if you want to check it out more. But we're going to talk a little bit about that today, and just the new year, and what some of maybe our goals are for the new year, and ESC goals for the new year. So yeah,
we're going to talk about. So we're actually going to talk also about pelvic floor health and increasing sexual function, and how these two are closely related. Because, like Kendra mentioned, we just developed this whole course on this topic, so it's fresh in our minds, and we're super, super passionate about it. So yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Mm-hmm. So pelvic floor health, a lot of people struggle with pelvic floor health, and they don't even really realize that they do. So whether, like in Kendra's personal experience, experiencing vaginal numbness, or in my personal experience, I struggled a lot with incontinence, stress incontinence around exercise. So doing like high impact exercising and peeing a little bit. And then it even got into like coughing or laughing. I had a really hard time with that. And so I just kind of thought that was the way that my body was. And when I learned a little bit more about it, it was pretty insightful, because I realized I could do something about it, and I could fix that from my home. And just by doing simple body weight exercises or jade egg practices, I was able to help, reverse this for myself. So yeah, we sort of created this this course by accident. And if there is anyone watching and you have any specific questions about sexual dysfunction or pelvic floor health, feel free to ask, because that is what we're going to be jamming about for the next 15 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. So feel free to ask. But yeah, so we kind of created this course by accident through our own journeys through sexual health and pelvic floor health.
Yeah, for me, so for Sarah, it was more around the incontinence issues, and she was recognizing some things going on in her pelvic floor when she was exercising in day-to-day. For me, it was definitely around sex. I shared this story, I think in a video, but also on our website, which we have a brand new website. You should also check that out, eatsquatcome.com. But I had so much numbness in my vagina, in my genitals. I just didn't feel anything. While I was having sex, I was like, oh, this just kind of feels like pressure and nothing. And that's, better than pain. So often when there was this article that was written where when men say that sex is good, it means that they experienced orgasm, where when females often say that sex is good, usually that just means absence of pain. It doesn't necessarily mean pleasure. That was my experience. I didn't experience a lot of pain, but I also didn't experience a lot of anything. And I was like, well, I guess this is fine. And it wasn't until my late 20s, years later, that I was kind of like, this isn't working for me, and I want something different. And I started to look at pelvic floor health and how my pelvic floor muscles play a huge role in sensation and access to orgasm and everything like that. And not just exercising that area, but also paying mindful attention through meditation and gentle exercises, touch, breath, sound, just bringing more awareness into the genitals in general, how that can really wake up and enliven that whole area. So the course, Vagina Warrior, is all about, it's the a workout. What do we call it? The workout?
Ultimate workout for your lady bits.
For your lady bits. But it's more than just a workout. It's not just strength training. Like strength training is a big piece of it, but it's really about bringing mindfulness and attention to the genitals, to the whole pelvic floor, the whole pelvic bowl, to help waken up and enliven that area, to fill it up with more pleasure and passion, desire, libido. So if you experience, or you know someone or have a friend or a partner who maybe experiences painful sex or numbness during sex, lack of sensation, inability to orgasm, low desire, low arousal, lack of lubrication, all of these things can be remedied through like body-based mindful exercises and gentle strength training practices in the pelvic floor. And that is what this course is all about. That's what it's all about. And we're so excited.
And Samantha, that's so cool that you just bought your first yoni egg. So if you have any questions about that, please let us know. Or if you feel like sharing your experience, that would be awesome. So with our course, we do send out a jade egg to everyone who purchases our course for free. So it's one heck of a deal, actually. And like Kendra said, it's a lot of mindful exercises and exercising with intention as well. So although there are a lot of jade egg practices, we do core workouts where we're strengthening our core muscles, but then we're also learning how to bring awareness into the muscles that we want to be activating and working, rather than just sort of moving our body and hoping for the best, and potentially not engaging and activating our deep core muscles or our pelvic floor, and putting a lot of pressure into the lower back and not doing things properly. So there's a lot of guidance around that as well. So for me, that was my issue, teaching high impact exercise and aerobics. I was jumping around all the time and peeing myself on stage, and it was really embarrassing, especially for somebody in their mid-20s who has not had children. So just bringing way more awareness and intention into my exercise routine is what helped me with that. And I no longer have this problem, and jade egg practices as well have been really helpful. So that's why it was a really fun collaboration for us, because you kind of think that these things are a little bit separate between, more sensual, mindful practices with the jade egg versus, doing like a core workout and exercise, but they're actually very closely connected. So it was a lot of fun, and it's really awesome. It was really fun putting all of that together.
For sure. Yeah. Cause I mean, even starting like this whole project, our whole business together, Sarah is a personal trainer and a holistic nutritionist, and I'm a sex therapist. And so it's like, those seem like completely different professions. And the more we talked, we're more like, these are all so integrated. I take a very somatic approach to my practice, which is body-based. So that definitely connects in with the exercise piece. But I don't think they aren't separate. Like, I don't think you can necessarily address one without the other, and exercise without the awareness or the attention and the mindfulness, and also the balance of rest, recovery, relaxation, and like gentle work. You need that balance. If you're just like constant, strengthening all the time, that can actually be really detrimental, especially to pelvic floor. One of the main issues with pelvic floor health is often chronic tension, which is, right now there's this idea of, not right now, I think it's pretty prevalent, but the tight pussy, and we all want to have a tight pussy, and it's good to have a tight pussy, and this, that, and the other. And it's like, yes, I understand where that comes from. And if it's really, really tight and chronically clenched, there's no room for blood flow and for opening up nerve endings and for proper lubrication. And so it actually creates really painful, dry sex, and very unaroused, and a lot of clenching, which will work it against you, certainly. And so it's yes, we want to have lean, supple, strong vaginal canals, and they still need to be flexible. There still needs to be room for blood to flow in, for nutrients to flow in, for all of those sexual juicy fluids to come in and help to arouse and fully engorge the area, to really open yourself up to pleasure and enjoyable sex, as opposed to just really, really tight sex where you need a whole bottle of lubricant just to get through it without wincing. That's not natural to need that. So yeah. where can I get more instruction on exercises with the jade egg? Well,
Yeah.
we have a couple videos on YouTube with beginner practices. So if you go through our channel, there's some beginner like warm up practices that I do, and the course that we just launched. So that's Vagina Warrior. It's a 6-week online course built for beginners. So people who are just starting with the jade egg practice, and it includes tons of jade egg work, like ones for awakening G-spot and cervical orgasms and isolation strength training and opening up sensuality, and also like breast massage and whole like yoni womb heart connection, as well as basic like core strengthening practices. And your core is directly linked to the pelvic floor, and those two like interplay a lot. So it's a really holistic approach to beginning a jade egg practice. And the course is normally $497, so just under $500, but because it's a fresh launch and it's a new year, we are running a sale right now. So it is $200 off. So $297 until the end of February to join Vagina Warrior. So you get like that $200 off, which is like a great deal. It's huge. It's like 6 weeks. It's tons. We've got like tons of PDF. There's guided audio. There's tons of education videos. You get all of Sarah's expertise. You get all of my expertise. There's also a couple like elixir recipes for foods that nourish pelvic floor health and will help support and sustain the physical work that we're doing. So it's really all encompassing. So there's lots of free videos on YouTube. They're usually pretty beginner practices through me, and there's other people who do. If you just Google like beginner jade egg work, there are videos on YouTube. Our full course is like, it's much more comprehensive and in depth. And one other thing I would suggest as well is we also launched an ebook, which is only $17. So that's a little bit more affordable if $297 is not in your budget right now. But it's called The Happy Pelvis, and it is all about pelvic floor health. And there is a small section on jade egg work. It's not tons of jade egg practices, but I do give resources for other books that have lots of jade egg practices in it that would be helpful, as well as just a whole bunch of different body-based exercises using massage, touching, stretching, and gentle movements to help open up and create more space, strength, and flexibility all through the pelvic floor. So the Happy Pelvis Complete Handbook, that is on our website. There is a condensed version of that you can get for free if you sign up for our mailing list. So if you go to our website, eatsquatcome.com, sign up for our mailing list, you'll get a little condensed version of that handbook so you can have a sample and see what it's about. And then if you want the full version, which has the actual exercises and practices that you can do, that's $17. You can buy that also off of our website. And if you're ready, Vagina Warrior, honestly, I think it's a great deal. I may be kind of biased, but it's got tons of amazing information. And because it is brand new, you'll have access to us asking us questions. And we'll eventually, when we're going to be creating a Facebook community around it. We haven't quite done that yet. So until that happens, there's going to be you'll have direct access to us for questions and answers, and we'll help support you through all of the practices that we offer in that course.
And you can do it at your own pace, which is really nice. Mm-hmm. Like it is a 6-week course, but there is a lot of material there, and it is such like a deep practice. So you can take a little bit longer. So you'll get one module at a time. It's broken into 6 modules, and you can do module number 1, and module number 2 will be released 1 week after module number 1. But if you need a little bit more time to complete module number 1, you can do that. So it's a self-guided practice. I mean, you have us guiding you, but at the end of the day, it's you doing the mindful practices from your house. And it can be, there's journaling prompts, and it's a really cool experience. So we're really happy with it.
Yeah. It's not, and it's, the bulk of it is around the jade egg, and there's like a huge portion dedicated to just like pelvic floor health in general and strengthening core and everything. And then there's just lots of, like Sarah said, journaling prompts and different tools to help you schedule and different PDFs to get you thinking. And it's more of like a whole self-reflection journey. It's more than just an exercise thing. It's really like it's a self-reflective journey. I can't think of a better way to describe it, really, to really connect to your body and your vagina in a really deep way. So
if you guys have any other questions, feel free to, check out our website. You can check out more information on Vagina Warrior there. If you have any more specific questions, you can comment on this video. We'll be coming back and checking the comments for the next little while. And just about vaginal steaming, have not tried it.
Oh.
We have been suggested to do it actually about a year ago when we talked to Taboo last year. Haven't tried it, so I can't really speak about it.
We need to find a place to do it in Vancouver, and then we'll
definitely
go and we'll make a video about it.
I'm definitely intrigued to try it, but I have not. You're planning to sign up at the end of the month, can't we? Well, we are so excited to go on this journey with you.
I'm just gonna say goodbye to that. We have to turn off the IGTV, but we can answer some more to YouTube questions. If you want to hear the rest of the questions we answer, just go to our YouTube. Oh, this is Athena, and we still have Christmas decorations up, but those are hopefully coming down today.
Yeah.
But,
so if anyone, we just ended our other video, so if anyone on YouTube has any more questions, we can hang out for a little while and chat.
Yeah, and I also have Carl from Stockholm. That's so nice. I love that. Everyone. We've
I
had a
actually-
couple people buying, when Vagina Warrior first got released. We already have a couple people enrolled in the course, which is very exciting for us. And there's people from Germany and the States and all over. I'm like, this is so great. So really huge, variety of people from different backgrounds. And well, I mean, I guess that's all still pretty Western, but it's still exciting.
Yeah, and even if you personally don't have a vagina, pelvic floor health is still important for you as well. So men can struggle with incontinence, and you know what? That's not always urinary. We can struggle with being able to control our anal sphincters as well. So this is definitely something that's important for both genders. So although our course is more specifically designed to people who do have vaginas, we do have other videos on our channel talking about the importance of exercise and pelvic floor health. And even if you do have a significant other who does have a vagina, you guys could even potentially share the course. And there's so much good information there about how to strengthen your pelvic floor outside of using a jade egg as well. So there is a lot there for both genders. However, you do need to have you do have to have been born with a vagina in order to use a jade egg.
Yeah, we should say all genders. The Happy Pelvis Complete Handbook, which is the ebook that we talked about, that has it's not just specifically for people born with 2 X chromosomes. It's for people with all pelvises. It's much more inclusive and encompassing. Vagina Warrior, though, you do need to have have been born with a vagina.
Yeah. Yeah. So John, sorry, but there is still a lot of stuff there that could benefit you. And if you do have,
if you know people who have vaginas that might benefit from it, that'd be great. And you can still check out some of our other resources.
And so, sorry, just a question. I've had a hard time reconnecting with my solo sex practice since my last breakup. Any advice?
It's hard. What I would, that's normal. I'd say that's pretty normal. And I wouldn't say to rush it or take, a solo sex practice doesn't have to be, I'm not sure exactly what that means for you, but often people think when I'm masturbating, it's often very orgasm centered. And it's very about this has to be pleasurable and I'm looking to get off. Whereas when I think of solo sex practice, or I call it mindful erotic practice or mindful masturbation, some days I'll be oh, I'm going to masturbate. And then I end up just sitting there and breathing and just holding my heart or holding my vagina. And sometimes I have I went through a big breakup about 1.5 years ago, and I would put on sad music. I was this isn't very sexy music, but I would just I was this is what I'm feeling. And I would just sit there, I'd lie there naked, and I'd just hold my body. And I would sometimes I would stimulate myself, but I would just cry. And I would just but it felt so it was moving that emotion and shifting it. Sex is actually awakening your sexual energy and connecting with your body is a great way to just release and process a lot of the emotion from a breakup. So often we feel very shut down sexually from a breakup because we're holding on to a lot, and there's a lot of sadness or anger or regret or whatever it is, hurt that's just in our bodies. And so we're not feeling very sexually alive because things aren't flowing the same way. In order to get back to that, it's really about just taking time, whether it's just breathing and holding or light stimulation, to just slowly reconnect with the body and allow it to be an emotional experience. I think there's lots of healing that can be done through sex. and through your own sexual self-practice, if and when you're ready to do that. It's like sometimes it's like, oh, I'm broken because I went to go masturbate and now I can't come anymore, but because it's your heart is broken and you're sad, and that needs to be honored and acknowledged before you can really, I think, fully dive back into or get back to where you want it to be. And honestly, I think getting back to shouldn't be the goal, because often when we go through a breakup, we can use that to like actually like catapult us into like a different level of like pleasure and mindful like body work, if we're willing to go there, if we're willing to do the work, which usually, like, I don't know, sometimes I've started masturbating because I'm like, I'm in a bad mood, I'm gonna masturbate and then I'll feel better, and then I just get more frustrated because it's not going the way I want. Then I end up just being like, ah, and like screaming, and I still feel better. But it's like, it's just giving yourself permission to actually let your solo sex practice be what it needs to be, to unblock whatever has built up through the breakup. And if you don't feel like doing it at all, like, that's okay too. Like, you don't pressure yourself. There's nothing wrong with you if you don't want a solo sex practice for weeks, months, for after a breakup. Like, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to yourself.
Yeah,
give really yourself permission to be quiet. And
we get that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like so much. It's hard. We've both had tough breakups that are so sad, and I mean, I think most people have. So,
and I think also maybe that's why Vagina Warrior is just like so special to us, because like we were creating this through a lot of that ourselves. So
yeah, absolutely.
You're the best. Sending you so much love.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Yeah,
it's hard, and it's okay.
But yeah, so thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We're going to check out, we got to get going. So if you do want more information, head to eatsquatcome.com. If you have any specific questions, our email address and our contact is there as well if you need to get in touch with us. And if you want more information on Vagina Warrior, of course, head to our courses section. And the whole syllabus is laid out for you step by step. Everything that you're going to get, all of the information is there. And
yes, and
we hope to see you guys there.
Males are allowed here, absolutely. Like, males are welcome. Like we said, you won't get a lot out of Vagina Warrior, which is specifically, we're talking about that course today. But like, no, is it Javelin? You are welcome. You are absolutely welcome and allowed here. You can ask questions, whether it's for yourself or for a partner. You have a pelvis, you have pelvic floor muscles.
Yeah.
You have, you are a sensual being, and you are absolutely 100% welcome and allowed here.
Pelvic floor health is for all genders?
Yes. All genders. Beautiful. All
right. Take care, guys. Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy 2020.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
We're going to end this now, but if you have any more questions, drop them below and we'll chat later.
Bye.
Bye.
Lord God of Thunder.